Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into something we all think about? You know, that feeling of a fresh start, decluttering, refreshing, and maybe even a little zen.
And it's funny you should mention Zen because
Oh, really?
what I find so interesting about these sources is how they connect decluttering with well-being.
Okay, so we're going beyond just like the actual cleaning,
Exactly. We often try to create new habits in the middle of total chaos.
right?
Imagine trying to eat healthy when your kitchen counters are like buried under takeout
But
menus.
it's impossible.
It's setting yourself up to fail, and Clean Slate really emphasizes this need for a reset.
It's so true though, because it's like, how can you possibly work on yourself
Right.
when you're surrounded by like stuff you know?
Yeah, totally. It's like trying to meditate in a room full of screaming toddlers, Your mind's never going to quiet down.
Never gonna happen. So, I mean, which comes first, the clean slate or the good habits?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? But what I found fascinating is that both sources suggest they go hand in hand. Like a positive feedback loop. A clean space motivates you to keep up those positive changes.
It's true. I feel like after I work out, I'm much more likely to make a healthy smoothie and
Exactly.
grab a bag of chips.
Totally. And speaking of building those positive habits, the 5-minute rule really stood out to me.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
It's all about those small, manageable changes. Instead of getting overwhelmed, right? Instead of staring down a mountain of laundry, you commit to just 5 minutes of folding.
That's such a good strategy because that's usually how I end up tackling most things in my life.
Right.
Seems way less daunting that way. And I love that they highlight that in the blog post.
And you know what? You might even surprise yourself and finish the whole thing.
You never know. It's like that first step is the biggest hurdle, and then you get on a roll.
Exactly. And speaking of mindset shifts, Clean Slate talks about embracing a minimalist mindset.
So I was wondering about that because is that really for everyone?
That's the thing. It's not necessarily about getting rid of everything and living in a white box.
Oh, okay, good.
It's about being more mindful about what you're bringing into your life and your home.
I like that. It's about being intentional with what you surround yourself with.
Right. Like, does that impulse purchase spark joy? Or is it just going to add to the clutter?
Totally. It's like quality over quantity when it comes to your belongings. Speaking of which, what do you think about the one in, one out rule?
Oh, that's a game changer for sure. I mean, it forces you to really think before bringing anything new into your home, right? If you're not willing to part with something to make room for it, maybe you don't need it as much as you thought.
It's like a built-in decluttering system.
Exactly.
I have to tell you, it reminds me of this one time. This is so embarrassing, but I used to be a bit of a mug hoarder.
Oh, we've all been there with something. Don't worry.
Oh no, it was bad. I'm talking mugs from like every vacation, every conference. I even had mugs that people had gifted me
Oh, I've been that.
that I didn't even like, but felt bad getting rid of.
Right. You feel obligated to keep them.
Yes. And my cabinets were overflowing.
So what did you do?
I actually tried that one in, one out rule. And for every new mug I even thought about getting, I had to get
Yeah.
rid of one.
Wow, that's tough.
It was brutal at first.
Yeah.
But then I realized that I'd so much rather have a few mugs I actually love
Of course.
than like a cabinet full of junk.
That's the heart of it, right? Creating a space that reflects you and not just like obligations.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
exactly. And then another strategy I really loved was decluttering by category instead of by room.
Oh, I love that method. It feels much less daunting that way.
Way less daunting. And the blog post had a great example of using that method for your clothes.
Oh, yeah, like starting with your shirts, then pants, then shoes, breaking it down makes it so much easier.
So much easier. Plus, there's something so satisfying about seeing a whole category done.
It's like a feeling of accomplishment washes over you.
The best. And you know what pairs perfectly with that method?
I have a feeling I know what you're going to say.
The 4-box method.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, and Clean Slate had a whole section on it.
The keep, donate, toss, and of course the relocate
I
box.
have a relocate box. It's like the Bermuda Triangle of decluttering, but also kind of genius.
It's like a way station for your stuff to find its true purpose in life.
Exactly. So you've got your system for making decisions with those boxes, and then your plan of attack with the categories.
I love it. It's a recipe for success.
Right. But I think it's important to remember that it's not just about getting rid of stuff.
Right. It's about maintaining that clean slate too, right?
Yes. Both sources talked about that, and
Yeah.
it's so true.
It's like one workout won't get you in shape and one massive decluttering session won't magically transform your house.
That's where their 7-day cleaning challenge comes in, right?
Yes, exactly. Have you tried it?
I'm kind of torn between a couple days, I have to say.
Oh, which ones are calling to you?
Well, day one is all about tackling the kitchen.
Oh, the heart of the home.
Right. But then day three is all about refreshing your bedroom.
Ooh, creating that sanctuary. I can see the appeal in both.
I know, right? It's like choosing between a perfectly brewed cup of coffee in the morning
Right.
and a luxurious bubble bath
Yeah.
at night. How do you pick?
I know it's a tough choice, but I think both of those are so key. Like a clean kitchen really sets the tone for the whole day,
For sure.
but then coming home to a peaceful bedroom at night,
Oh, yeah.
can't beat that. Speaking of balance, though,
Okay.
we have to talk about those daily habits that keep things from becoming overwhelming.
Yes.
Tell me everything.
Well, both sources talked about the power of a daily reset.
The daily reset. Okay.
Yeah, just taking like 10, 15 minutes every day to tidy up those high traffic areas,
I like it.
like wiping down counters after dinner or putting away anything that's out of place.
It's amazing how quickly those little things can add up if you don't stay on top of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Ugh.
It's like you're preventing those little messes from becoming huge, stressful cleanups.
Totally. It's like a mental decluttering every time you tidy up your physical space.
Yes, exactly. And in addition to the daily reset,
Both Clean Slate and the blog post talked about doing a weekly refresh as well.
so the daily reset is like maintenance and the weekly refresh is like,
Like a deeper clean.
yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
So that could be, doing laundry, changing your sheets, giving the bathroom a scrub.
I see. So you're really giving your home a chance to breathe.
Exactly. It's like hitting the refresh button for your home.
I love that. And you know what I find so interesting is that both sources frame this as so much more than just cleaning routines.
Tell me more about that.
It's like they're presenting a whole lifestyle shift, one that's about being intentional and mindful.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's about realizing how much our environment really affects us.
Right, because when you think about it, we're making conscious choices about the energy we surround ourselves with.
I love that.
It's like curating a museum of your life.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just display anything, would you?
That's such a good analogy. I love that.
You choose items that tell a story that spark joy, that represent you.
Exactly. And we can approach our belongings the same way, asking ourselves, does this bring me joy? Does this serve me?
Right, because sometimes letting go can be so freeing.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like you're creating space for new opportunities, new experiences.
It's so true. I've noticed that in my own life.
Me too. And it's funny how cleaning out a junk drawer can make you want to clean out other areas of your life too.
Absolutely. It's amazing how one positive change can have that ripple effect.
It gives you the confidence and energy to tackle other things.
Exactly. And that's what I love about both of these sources. They offer these really practical strategies that are about so much more than just a perfectly organized home.
It's about designing a life you love.
Yes, exactly.
That's like, it's not just about your stuff. It's about creating a life that feels less cluttered and more fulfilling overall.
It really is.
Mm.
And it's about figuring out what you want and making your space match that.
Yeah.
And you know what's really cool about both of these sources? They emphasize that it doesn't have to be this big dramatic thing.
Right, it doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Exactly. Little changes can make a big difference.
So true. So of everything we talked about today, what really spoke to you? Like, what's one thing you're going to go do now?
Honestly, I think for me, it's that daily reset.
Yeah.
It just makes so much sense. Taking those few minutes each day to tidy up just stops things from getting out of hand.
It's true. Plus, I feel like it's almost like a mini meditation for your home.
Yes, exactly.
And for me, I think it's that one in, one out rule. It
Mhm.
just makes you think twice before you bring anything new in.
It really does.
I feel like we've given everyone a lot to think about today.
I hope so. We talked about the connection between our environment and how we feel, explored ways to declutter and maintain a clean slate. And I think we even found some unexpected benefits along the way.
And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to do everything at once. Just start small.
Try different things out. Figure out what works for you in your life.
That's the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
Approach it with an open mind and be kind to yourself.
And you don't have to do it alone. There's so many resources out there, even professional organizers if you need help.
So as you start this whole clean slate journey,
Yeah.
just remember to celebrate those wins along the way.
Yes.
Each thing you donate, each space you clear, each new habit you make, it all adds up.
It all leads to a more intentional and fulfilling life.
I love that.
Yeah.
So go out there, declutter, and create a space that makes you happy.
And a life that inspires you.